Okay, my name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director for Veterans Memorial and Multicultural Histories Incorporated. And today is November the 16th, 2021, and it's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
No, it's Tuesday. Okay, and here we are at the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in West Palm Beach. I think it's 7350 North Military Highway in West Palm. Okay, and then what is your name?
My name is Marina Perez.
Okay, Ms. Perez. And when is your birthday?
September 6, 1945.
And I forgot to ask your husband, but what city do you live in?
Boynton Beach, Florida.
Okay, all right. And the only other person here at the interview is her husband. Sir, what's your name again?
Paul Bosco.
That's right, Mr. Bosco. Okay, great. And Marina, what branch of the service were you in?
Army,
Okay, and what year did you go in?
1980.
Mm-hmm. Where were you when you went in the service?
New York.
Okay, where in New York?
Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, Brooklyn. And where exactly did you go to be inducted in the service?
Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, New York.
Right. What were you doing at that time?
I was working for the state of New York.
Doing what?
I was a secretary there,
Okay.
downtown Manhattan.
Okay. And what made you want to go into service?
The girls and them, we were talking in the office. Everybody was getting the jobs for Christmas and so forth. And after Christmas, they were laid off and so forth. So I was telling them I would like to get me a permanent part-time job because I was a single parent at that time.
Okay.
So one of my supervisors heard me. She says, "Oh, Marina, I can get you into the reserves. Why don't you join the reserves? But that is a permanent,
Right.
part-time." So she hooked me up and she gave me the recruiter, and the recruiter was a friend.
Right.
And that's how I got in
Nice.
to join the reserves.
Okay. All right. Why did you choose the Army instead of another branch?
That's the only thing that she knew.
Got
She
it.
had a friend there, and
Got it. So that made it easy.
Yes, it made it
Got
easy
it.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you go for basic training?
I went to to Fort Dix,
Fort
New
Dix.
Jersey. Yes.
Right.
For 2
So not
months.
far away.
No.
Gotcha.
2 months.
For 2 months?
Yeah, for 2 months of basic training.
How was it?
It was all right because I was 35 then. I had, because of my son's paperwork, kept me back a lot, kicked back a lot. So eventually, when the paperwork and everything was done, then they told me it was basic training, and I was 35 already.
Right.
They was kind of worried about my age,
Yeah.
But I never tell them anything about my exercise. And I used to be a long distance runner,
Oh,
and I ran New York City Marathon.
so you were in good shape.
Yes, and I never tell them anything about it. But they were worried about me because of my age.
Right.
So anyway.
Why wouldn't you tell them?
Because I understand in the military, once they call it show off. You show off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you this and you that, and I did not want them to, get them smart on that.
Right.
So, but I happened to go through basic. It was a little rough, but I happened to go through it because I was in good shape.
Right. How long was
I used
basic?
to run with the kids and them, and
Yeah.
and my basic training was 2 months. 2 months, yeah.
Okay.
And my drill sergeants and them, they were all my age. They were Vietnam veterans and things like that, And they couldn't understand what the hell am I doing in there?
Yeah.
Because I was the only reservist.
Yeah.
And myself and another girl, she was
In that age bracket?
in that age bracket.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she was 33 and I was 35. And they couldn't understand what was I doing there. So I told them, well, I'm a reservist, So, and that's what I'm, here
Right.
for. I have my job and work with the state of New York. I was a secretary there for 13 years. So I didn't have to go for AIT when I got out from basic training. I didn't have to go for additional training because
Right.
my 13 years experience with the state of New York, I become in administration.
Right.
So I become a clerk typist and everything, you know.
Okay.
So I used to.
So you had skills?
Yes, I had skills, yeah. And I came in, I started as a private, but once I got out, they made me a PFC, which is an E3.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you got out of basic?
Basic training, yes.
Oh, so you automatically accumulated rank?
Yes.
Okay.
And then after basic training too, after I got the PFC, then they gave me an E4.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Promotion again, you know, because of my background, you know.
When you,
secretary.
I'm going to jump ahead. When you separated from the service, how long did you stay in?
25 years.
Okay, and what was your final rank?
E7.
Nice.
Sergeant first class.
Okay, so now what you're doing is you started doing weekends and then
I
you're
was doing
2 weeks every year?
Yes.
And what did that
I
entail?
used to do more too because
Okay.
the state of New York, they used to give us 30 days military leave.
Wow.
Yes. So I used to do the 2 weeks with the unit, and then the two other weeks, sometimes I used to go in the office and they used to cut orders for me, so I go in the office and I help those active duty personnel with
Right.
their work and so forth, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you did on weekends, was administrative work?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so when you deployed for the 2 weeks out of the year, where'd you go?
Oh, I went, I used to take classes also too. I used to take.
So you used your GI Bill for your education?
No. And later on, I started using the GI Bill, but usually I couldn't continue with the studies for the GI Bill because I used to drop out of the class because I had to go someplace, you know, with military and so. I used to use it. I don't like school, period. I never liked school. Okay. So that was, you know, the credits I got in college now is because of the classes I took in the military.
Right.
I took a lot of classes.
Okay.
You know, and I met an older soldier. He said to me, Perez, anything you do, just make sure you take a lot of classes. Anything. So I used to jump to a lot of classes, and sometimes I used to go to classes instead of going to the 2 weeks training. You know.
And you got credit for it?
And oh yes.
Okay.
I was getting paid from the state as well as getting paid from the military. So
Right.
that was good money.
Yes.
You know. And
Where were you born?
I was born in Trinidad.
Okay, in
Port
Jamaica?
of Spain, Trinidad.
Okay, what's in
Port of Spain, Trinidad, not
Yes,
Jamaica.
yes, ma'am. Sorry, I apologize. I've just been hearing the accent the whole time.
Yes.
And just
I was
as an
born in
aside, my
Trinidad.
father is Bahamian.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, okay.
I was born in Trinidad,
Uh-huh.
and I came to the States when I was 16.
Oh,
Yeah. But I was, my mom and my dad, they're not Trinidadians. They're from Venezuela, that's why
Oh.
I have that name. you
okay,
know.
right.
And my mom and my dad, they lived in Trinidad for many years.
Uh-huh.
So I was born there, and my other sister was born there.
Mhm.
So we came to the States in 1963.
Okay,
And I was 17 then.
right.
And I took some classes for nurses aid, and then I took, and then I was working in factories and things like that. I did a lot of work.
Okay.
You know. And so when I got laid off from the factory,
Uh-huh,
one of my friends says to me, why don't you go and collect unemployment?
right.
And this is where my career hit off. I went to unemployment office, and the counselor that saw me there, he said to me, we have a manpower program, would you like to go?
Uh-huh,
I says, yes, sir. And he says, what do you want to do? What would you like to learn, you know? I says, well, I like nursing. You know, so he looked at my nails, and my nails, which used to be really long, and he said to me, he says, I think you'll do good in an office. You got some long nails and so forth. I says, okay. He says, I'll send you to school for within 9 months, and we're going to give you transportation also too.
okay.
How can I miss that?
So, yeah, they paying all your expenses?
Yes,
Right.
yes. At that time, I was doing. I went to the hospital to do nurse's aid. I was in the hospital 2 blocks up my street, you know. So I held on to that job while I was going to school in the morning time.
Right.
And just before the class finished, one of the state officers came over and talked to the class and says, anyone interested in working with the state of New York, we're giving the test certain date and so forth. So I put my hands up and I went and took the test, passed the test, and some of the girls and them didn't even, they went to SCM and all those big companies. I stayed with the state.
Right.
Because I figured the government, I'm always sure with the government. And they hired me, and then they said to me, my supervisor said to me, he said, I want to make you permanent, but you're not an American citizen. I says, well, I applied for it. In those days, you had 3 years, you know.
Right.
So I applied for it, and they didn't call me yet. So he says to me, where did you apply? And he got all information.
Right.
The next week,
Done.
it was done. I
Well,
don't know
raise
who
your
they
hand.
talked to, whatever. So I got that done, and after that, well, I stayed with the state, and
Okay.
I retired from them.
Okay, so.
With the military as well as with the state of New York.
Mhm.
Every time I go on active duty,
Yeah,
my time was counted just like with the reserves.
right.
It was equal.
Accumulating.
Both ways.
Good.
You know. So I retired from the military, and I retired from the state of New York.
Okay. So, on your deployments over the course of 25 years,
Yes.
where'd you travel to?
I'm a Gulf War veteran.
Okay.
I went to Saudi,
Uh-huh.
and that was in '91.
Okay.
I went there for 6 months, you know, and I was activated, and I was.
What was your
a bit
unit?
nervous. I was in a medical unit.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the clerk typist there and
Mhm.
so forth, and the
Casualties?
unit. No,
No, you didn't see any at all?
no.
Okay.
That time, you know, that Gulf War only started for about a day or so, and then,
Ah,
you know, so we was there for support,
right.
you know. They clean up and they getting the place ready to, you know.
Did you have to train on a weapon in order to go overseas?
Oh yeah, well, we had training before we left.
Right.
We stayed in Fort
Where?
Dix. Fort Dix, we put out from Fort Dix,
Uh-huh.
and we trained there, and then we went from Fort Dix, they flew us into Pennsylvania, and from Pennsylvania we had a plane they flew us to Germany.
Okay.
And Germany, a bus was there waiting for all of us, and they took us right into I had 2 deployments, and I get confused and I mix them up.
Uh-huh.
No, the plane took us right into Saudi.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And there I stayed for 6 months.
Mhm.
Well, I stayed there for 6 months, but after 4 months, I lost my mom
Uh-huh.
while I was there, and they were very nice. I told them I would like to come back because I wanted to get my 6 months in, you know,
Yeah,
as a combat veteran.
Right.
Because I was in a combat area, so
Right.
a combat veteran.
That's
you know.
right.
So, first sergeant says to me, oh, Perez, you don't have to come back, your mom died, and so forth. I says, that's all right. You know, they was watching me to see if I was going to fall out or anything. But I had lost my son
Yeah.
7 years ago, so I've been through the worst already.
Right.
But my mom, I was expecting mommy because she was not well.
Uh-huh.
So, because I had made all plans, you know, before I left, I told my sisters and them to make sure I had bought her grave and everything, and
Right.
everything prepared, you know, in case anything happens when she dies. You could call the Red Cross and I'll come over and, you know, they will send me back and
Right.
so forth. Well, she died the Sunday morning, and the 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
I got that message from, you know, they called me in the battalion and they told me that my mom passed away and so forth. And I don't have to come back. I says, well, I like to come back because my time is not finished, you know. I didn't even tell them about my mom how I know she was sick or anything. I just, just say I'd like to go,
Right.
I'd like to come back.
Right.
So first sergeant says to me, Sergeant Perez, you don't have to come back. He really didn't want me to come back. I said, but sir, I want to come back because I'm not finished my tour yet. He says, well, you're going to have to talk to the battalion commander. I says, not a problem. I'll talk to him. So they called him, that was a Sunday, so the battalion commander wasn't there, he was at home. So they called him and they left me in the room to talk to him to see if he can talk me out of, So I spoke to him and I said to him, sir, I understand. He says, no, he says, Sergeant Perez, I understand your mom passed away and you want to come back. I says, yes, sir. I says to him, my mom was sick and I was expecting it. He says, okay, Sergeant Perez, I lost my dad too. And I went and I came back. He says, I understand. You tell First Sergeant you're leaving tomorrow morning and give me 10 days. Come back in 10 days.
Okay.
When I came out of the office and First Sergeant was outside there waiting for me, I says to them, Commander says, that, to get my paperwork ready and I'm going to come back in 10 days.
Okay.
Oh, he was like, man, because he wanted to get rid of me. So the next morning, I used to go with a guy in MP, the MP company. They came and they picked me up, and they took me to the airport,
Right.
and they flew me into Germany. That was in the Monday after, and I came for 10 days and buried my mom and everything, and then I went back up again.
Okay.
Yeah, and at that time, when I came back up now, well, I was admin all the time before. When I
Right.
came back up now, they said to me, Sergeant Perez, Sergeant Flick is leaving. And that's he's in charge of the mess hall. So you're going to take over his job.
Okay.
I said to myself, Lord, what did I put myself into? So I don't know about kitchen. I don't like kitchen. I don't even do anything at home in the kitchen. He does the cooking and everything. Anyway,
Okay.
I said, I got nervous. I ran over to the mess hall. I said, Sergeant Flick, I understand you're leaving. He says to me, yes, I'm going back home. My time is up. I said, Sergeant Flick, I don't know anything about cooking and, kitchen and anything.
Yeah.
He says, oh, Perez, don't worry about it. He says, come in the morning at 5 o'clock and I'll show you what we do.
Right.
Okay, I was there before 5.
Okay.
Because I was nervous about taking charge of the mess hall.
Right.
The mess hall feeds 2,000
Jesus.
soldiers. That's a big,
day.
big, and that was a big mess hall.
Yeah.
So, but because I know the mess hall, I always go there and eat.
Yeah.
So this came up,
Right.
And then I felt good. He took me in and showed me things to do. You have to make sure the place is clean, because we had the locals waiting for us, working for us.
Right.
So he took me into the kitchen and showed me the pots and so forth. If the pots look greasy, I had the manager right behind me, and then they would, bring the guys and tell them to clean it, because he says to me, Sergeant Perez, if those soldiers get sick because of those greasy pots,
Right.
It's on you,
Yeah.
Oh Lord. So I was there every morning with him, making sure I know everything. We didn't have to cook, but my younger soldiers, my E4s and them, I was an E6 then, and my E4s and them, they knew their job and everything. I didn't have to tell them anything.
Right.
Matter of fact, I had an E5. He used to do the schedule and everything, I said to him, keep me on that schedule too. And he gave everybody the schedule equal.
Right.
Which was good. Those soldiers did it because of them. Right through my career with military, they made me finished. Yeah. Because
Okay.
everywhere I go, and I always make sure I tell them how old I am. I was always the oldest female wherever I go.
Right.
And the soldiers treated me, I had no disrespect or nothing at all.
Okay.
And it was a go through, So I was, my second deployment was to Bosnia as a peacekeeper, And that was a 9 months, you know.
Right.
And that wasn't bad at all, you know. I was when I got into that country, I was very upset to see what was going on because they had people killing how they call it, a genocide. They had this genocide thing. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe us human beings live like that, you know. If I don't like you, I kill you, and you know, nobody can say anything. It was like that, you know. And when we came into to Bosnia, to Croatia, and the people ran out the houses, and they was like, you know, they thanking us to be there,
right.
You know. It was I felt very, very sad about that.
Okay.
You know. And that was my 9 months there. That's where I was, I went in as a medic.
Okay.
I even took a medic course also too. And I was also, what did I do there? I was a postal supervisor there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was
in charge of the mail.
Postal, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they gave me the worst. I had the night, how you call it? I had it from 11 to 8 in the morning.
Oh, third graveyard.
Everybody got to the meetings, and everybody, they picked their things, you know, all the seniors, you know. I was in E7 then. And they give me that's the best shift I had in my life. I used to go in at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And didn't leave till 8 o'clock the next day.
Right.
You know, I had 4 soldiers with me, they all E4s. You know, very nice soldiers. You don't have to tell them anything. I didn't have no experience in post office.
Right.
They knew everything. You know, because they put you in to do certain jobs, and you don't have to be, especially a senior. What they tell you to do, you have to do.
Right.
You know, whether you know it or not. You know, it's up to you. You have to find out. You know.
Yeah.
And I had that was a very good tour.
Okay.
Because everybody, all the units used to come in and pick up their mail.
Right.
And we had it at night, so we didn't used to see too much people, you know.
Okay.
And the soldiers was very good. It was, but when it was coming, we left in the heart of winter. We left on February 15th, you know, 1997. And they gave us all kind of bear suits and all kind of, so very cold in Bosnia.
Yeah,
you know, very cold. But they had they had heaters and all kind of things for us, and it was good, you know.
Right.
Everything was good, so it was a good tour.
Okay.
You know, I had no problems there at all.
So were there any U.S. military casualties that you witnessed?
No, I didn't.
Just the civilians? The civilians, though.
No, the civilians used to work there with us, but I didn't.
You mentioned a genocide.
No, that's what the stories was told to us.
Oh, okay.
Yes, what to expect, what they was doing, but no, we didn't experience.
You didn't experience any
like
of them. Okay,
no,
okay.
No.
Right.
But all the houses in there, when we were driving through and so forth, every house had a bomb came through the roof.
Really? So
that was really,
you did see
that I saw.
You saw the devastation.
Yes, I saw the devastation. You know, yes.
Okay.
And
And how long were you there?
9 months.
9 months?
Yes.
Okay. So you went to Saudi?
Yes.
Right? And Bosnia?
On Bosnia, yes.
And what other places did you deploy over that quarter of a century?
I went to Panama. I've been to Panama 3 times.
Wow.
Where have I been to again? No, that's about it. You know, I was supposed to go to Germany again, but it didn't come up for me.
Did you, while you were over there, did you visit other countries?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
They gave us R&R when I was in Bosnia.
Uh-huh.
I went to I went to England. I have a half brother over there.
In London?
And yeah,
Mhm.
and I called him and I told him I'd like to come and see him. So I took a week off.
Okay.
And I went to London and I saw him and I went visiting and so forth. And when I went to Saudi, I did go to R&R was given in to Bahrain. It's not much. It was about a couple days in Bahrain.
Right.
And I didn't go much places when I went to England. It's only when I went to Saudi, only to ship. They call it a love ship, but it's just to get the veterans out, the soldiers out, to have a good time. And because you cannot drink in there, in Saudi,
Right.
but you could go to Bahrain, and that's where they drink and
Right.
they have a good time there.
Okay.
You know, the Arabs and them, the rich ones, they used to go there and to do their things, you know.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, there was this sergeant. He had liked me. He says, "Come, Sanford, let me show you what these Arabs do here. They leave their wives in Saudi,
Yeah.
and they go to Bahrain, and they have the Philippine ladies and them, and they pick them, and you know. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but they took us to nice clubs, you know, where the soldiers and them, you know. I didn't drink, and I didn't used to drink, so they were shocked that I danced all night, because dancing is my high,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And didn't drink, and they were surprised, and when they came back, my company commander said to me, Perez, I understand you don't drink, and you had a good time with soldiers and so forth. Perez, I have some tickets, I will give it to you, can you go and take the soldiers? I said, no problem. So the soldiers came with me, and you know, I went to Bahrain, and they drink, and they had a good time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right. Just a few more questions then.
Yes.
Well, you really covered everything. How you got
And the
your...
reason why I enjoyed serving military, it taught me a lot, because for a little island woman, I learned a lot, and I appreciate all my veterans, all those who are serving. I appreciate every one of them, because of them I'm here.
Right.
Came to this country, and I feel everything was given to me. The ball was given to me, and I ran with it. And I'm living comfortable, very comfortable,
Okay.
as a veteran.
Right.
And what I do now, I am a service officer
Mm-hmm.
for 22 years. And I'm with the American Legion, with the Veterans of Foreign Wars, with the DAV, Disabled Veterans of America, the 40 and 8.
40 and 8?
40 and 8, yes, the same organization that Paul belongs to.
Okay.
And what else? And the women's veteran, 2 women veterans organization.
Which ones?
The 20 and 4, which is the 20 is the 20 females, was on 4 not trucks, but Jeeps,
Okay.
because we are Jeep, you know.
Jeep unit.
And then another women's memorial. It's in Washington. I belong to that one also too.
Right.
And I help my veterans. I retired since COVID,
Right. Okay.
and because of COVID, I don't see any one of them no more. I used to go and visit them and, you know, help them with their paperwork and things like that.
Right.
World War IIs, Korean veterans, Vietnam veterans, Persian Gulf, all veterans I go and help. And I've been doing that, I'll keep on doing that. And I love doing that, love helping
Nice.
them out.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Just those wrap up on that is How do you feel about war in the military?
I don't think about it. I don't even want to hear about it. And I don't like seeing movies neither. I don't think it's pleasant, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a pleasant thing to talk about or to, you know. I don't look at war movies. I don't look at, you know.
Gotcha. And the only other thing is, how did your service experiences affect your life?
That's what I said.
Right.
It taught me how to deal with everything out here too. Because I had a few, because as a female veteran,
Uh-huh.
I had a few ups and downs with the male. I know some of them can't accept me because I'm a combat veteran,
Right.
all right? And some of them, I've been challenged many times
Mhm.
because coming out, after I served in Saudi,
Right.
I came back with a Bronze Star.
Okay.
And a lot of other medals I came back with. But that Bronze Star hit it all. And that Bronze Star, I was challenged with it from the department of the American Legion. In the department, one of the officers.
Really?
Paul was with me too.
Uh-huh.
And he couldn't believe it. One of the officers came up to me and he said to me, I want to see how you, because I have my Bronze Star and my medals and
Yeah.
my jacket, you know.
Yeah.
I want to know how you got that. I says, not a problem, so you have a card? And he gave me his card. And when I came back home, I sent him a copy of my DD-214.
Right.
And it had my Bronze Star
Yeah.
in it.
Uh-huh.
And I sent him a copy of my dress blues. I was dressed in my, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I sent him a copy of that. All right? And a week later,
Uh-huh.
he sent me an email that he wanted me to be one of the executive committee officers there.
Nice.
I called Paul and I said to him, look at this, read this, you know. Delete!
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know. And that's how I look at it, you know, it's because they feel I can't do, we females cannot go up just like them,
Yeah.
have things like that.
Ridiculous.
You know, and I had a lot of little bumps on the road as a female veteran.
Right.
All right. But now I don't participate in anything now since COVID. I don't participate in anything much.
Right.
You know,
I get it.
I just, if the veterans call me and they need help with their compensations and pensions and so forth, I'm there to help them.
Okay.
You know, and that's what I do now.
Okay.
You know. Yes.
All right, well, I want to thank you for a great interview,
Mm-hmm.
and I also want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was retired at 60.
Uh-huh.
And I did retire, but I was not ready to stop working. So I came to the VA because I forgot to tell you, in 2003, I almost went to Iraq.
But you didn't.
No,
Okay.
because I got lucky because the following year I was going to be 60.
Uh-huh.
And that's my retirement, you know. So 60, you had to be out of the military. So I was not ready to finish working, so I came to the VA to get a job here so I could continue working, you know. And the reason why I had to leave at 60 is because in the reserves you have to be you have to be 60 in order for you to retire. And I was in the reserves and I wasn't ready to retire, so I came to the VA. And the VA, I was still in orders for me to go to Iraq, and I went, you know, and they hired me right away. And I came in as an insurance clerk, and I was working out on Woodbine, and then they transferred us over here to the hospital. So I worked here for 7 years, and then I retired when I was 67. I didn't know I even could retire already, you know. So when I went to Social Security, they said to me, "Oh, you could have retired since last year."
Right.
A few months ago. So she gave me back pay from the few months ago.
Yeah.
And That's to show you for an island person, I didn't know much about
Right.
retirement. All I know was work.
That's been a learning experience for all of us, not just you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
we good?
I think so.
You're gonna be late.